into yourself and begin however you want your body to be. Seated, laying down. Maybe you have some movement that you want to get out. As we wait for the others to come, just do what feels right for you. And just enter yourself in some way. Enter deeper breaths. Enter your body. And notice what input is entering you. So if your eyes are open, what are you really seeing? What's around you? Where's your environment? You might notice sounds that you hear. Hello, welcome. Okay. We have the 10 of Cups. We can just notice all the different colors, how they all intersect with one another. These straight lines, the geometric, the space in between the lines. And it's like we're centering in on it with that circle. Five of Pentacles. A part of the earth. Here's what they look like together. We have this abundant, flowing, all sorts of representation, watery card mixed with a wilted, transitional, earthy card. So let us enter our meditation. Again, you can be in whatever position you want your body to be in. And intentionally breathe. Breathe with purpose, with meaning, even if you don't know what the purpose or the meaning is. And again, noticing that input, so any sights or sounds. And then noticing your own sounds of your breath. You might notice what you smell with a deep inhale through the nose. And as you exhale out the mouth, notice what that sounds like. And open that mouth and rub the teeth and lips with your tongue. And you might notice what that tastes like, what it feels like, what it sounds like. And as your awareness is at the mouth, just expand it to the full face and let the facial muscles soften, the eyes, the jaw. Just notice anything in the head, anything on the mind. Notice the very top of your head. Notice anything that happens at the top of your head when you inhale. When you exhale, bring the awareness down through the neck to the shoulders. And just soften here. Continuing to breathe slowly, broaden through the heart. Long space here. Lengthen through the side body and rib cage. Straightening long through the spine. Sinking into those hips and sit bones that connect with the floor. And just noticing the lower body, how it folds in on itself, or however else you're seated. And lay down a foundation here. Let's really focus on this earth, on grounding. Just take a few moments to sit with that. Whatever comes up for you when you think of grounding, and when you think of grounding yourself. And then bear witness to what happens when you stop thinking about grounding and start doing it. So be in your breath, be in your body, be in the physical. Tune back into your breath. Lead the inhale back up to the crown of your head. Exhale out the mouth. And slowly tip the chin towards the chest in reverence for the body and the physical, for how it showed up for you right now today. And just begin to shift your weight from side to side and feel this sense of transitioning, of change, of altering in the body in the way that you were first connecting with it. Let's come to lay on our bellies or child's pose. I'll give you that choice. If you want to have your legs long or have the knees bent. So whichever option works for you. Tune into that sense of grounding again. And we'll talk about the Five of Pentacles, which represents a change or transition in your physical life. So this change can affect you in your body, in your livelihood, your home or sense of well-being. And there are so many sides of this. When you see like that wilted flower, or in the more traditional deck, the Rider-Waite deck shows like a injured humans, you feel a sense of loss or sadness or grief or worry, concern, maybe even anxiety in that transition and this changing. And those may all enter you, and you seem to label them as bad, maybe. And yet there's just so much good that can also happen through those transitions. Lots of lessons. And to heal from it is to absorb the medicine. Sometimes that medicine might be a little bitter. So yeah, there is a downside, so to speak, with the Five of Pentacles. When we think of events like this, like a trauma, whether it be big T trauma or little t trauma, whatever scale in which you're considering this transition, you might expect some after effects from it. So maybe feeling or leaning into some PTSD, perhaps. But along with that, there's so much research being done around this that they're also noticing what they call PTG, post-traumatic growth. And this growth happens as a result from going through that experience. And you might have experienced this yourself. That growth that happens through that hardship. And it's better to get down, and it's tough. But it's also this beautiful altering and transition that all humans seem to go through in some way, shape, or form. We all went through a really big one. So feel the front of your body on the floor. Feel your heart on the floor. If you're in child's pose, feel those hips and low back. And then whatever position you're in, just rock from side to side. If you're laying down with legs flat, you might bend the knees and drop those from side to side. If you're in child's pose and the forehead is down, you might turn your neck from side to side. Just shift from the left to the right and find this sense of rhythm with it. And notice the pace in which you're rocking. What happens if you slow down a little bit? And what happens if you speed it up a little bit? Allow your rocking and your shifting to slow down a little bit. Maybe you sync it with your breath. Good, slow it down even more. Good, even more slow. However you're shifting, maybe it takes a little more mindfulness to move this slow. Maybe more muscles are aware of their action as you slow down. Notice the next breath you're taking with your slow movement side to side. We'll take another breath. Also notice the heart. And then begin to speed up. And then speed up a little more. And stay at this rhythm for a little bit. Side to side, shifting. Notice your breath. Notice your heart. Good. And then just stop your movement. Stop it suddenly. And notice the after effect that you might feel. Just notice the body in general. And the breath. And the heart. Good. And then slowly, let's transition and come back up to a seat. And as we enter this seat, let's have it be staff pose, Dandasana. Let's make a little motion in the shoulders, some intuitive rolls here. And then bring the hands down outside of the hips. And then rock the knees, shake the ankles, lift one glute and the other. Good, and then ground down. Earth, earth, earth. All parts of the body touching the floor, tune into that. Bring the awareness to the shoulders, heart, the neck, jaw. Feel space. Maybe you make some negotiations to create that space. And then as you inhale, slowly lift the arms up overhead. And pause right here. And let's bring a little bit of engagement to the lower body. Starting from the abdomen down, just engage and aware of that part of your body. And then with your inhale, reach those fingers tall. Again, negotiate space for your shoulders and neck. And then slowly, as you lead with your heart, pull forward and reach towards your feet or ankles or shins. Good, and just feel that awareness again. And then slowly soften that awareness. So the engagement lets go a little bit. We melt a bit in our ankles, the knees soften. You're hinging at the hips as you fold forward. There's length in the spine, but no strain, no force. The head might drop down a little bit, and the jaw might hang a bit. And those arms soften. Maybe the elbows are bent generously. And just melt in a sense of surrender in that physical form. No more holding. Deep breaths for the next few breaths. Deep and slow. And notice the next breath. Good, and then slowly bring the awareness back to your lower body. Strength through those legs, length through the arms. They reach back forward. You stretch and lift through the spine and slowly pull yourself back up to a seat with those arms up overhead. And see if you can recall the image of the 10 of Cups and feel these engaged toes and fingers. And this 90-degree angle that we're making, this pivot away from the 5 of Pentacles to the 10 of Cups. Good. Slowly bring the hands together. Notice palm to palm, finger to finger to finger to finger to finger. And then lower your hands down, knuckles to the third eye. Knuckles of the thumb to the forehead center. And allow your body to soften again. And just feel this space right here, this connection of those thumbs to the forehead. And recall the image of those radiating lines and cups pouring into one another, this abundance, this flow. So these intersecting lines coming together. When we're talking about cups and water, we're also talking about loving energy and human compassion. And we're also talking about the subconscious too. So not on an intellectual level, not in a way in which love is being identified. It just is. It is just this known internal thing. No rhyme or reason. Slowly bow your head down, keeping that connection there. Bowing in reverence for love. And then we'll transition to bring the soles of the feet together and the knees wide. And those hands can come down onto the feet. And then shift your weight from side to side, maybe even physically spreading out your seat down. Remaining rooted. And then, hands on the feet. Let's give ourselves a foot rub. Maybe you press the thumbs into the bottoms of your feet or arches. You might pull on your toes, stretch them. Maybe get some traction in the joints, creating some space there. Maybe you stick a finger between each toe. You might even lift one foot up and make some circles with your ankle. Love to the feet. No wrong way to do it. And just notice the energy that you're forming here, this connection you're having with yourself. There might be heat, maybe some friction, maybe some gliding. Maybe find some tension. Whenever you're ready, we're going to fold forward. No wrong way to do that either. Just fold and listen and feel. The 10 of Cups is knowing there's no wrong way to love. And if there is a wrong way of love showing up to you in your life, that is not real love. There may be intention to love. Maybe it's in the intellectual mind. But if it is causing harm or pain, it is not love. Love is an experience. And it's a complex topic. Let's bring those complexities back into the body. Notice all your own physical complexities, those parts of the body touching the floor. Bring the hands to the floor and slowly press yourself up and walk yourself and your hands back to your seat. And bring them on the floor behind you now. And we'll bring the feet on the floor too. And just rock and notice and spread out those fingers nice and wide and feel the full feet on the floor. We're going to come to a reverse table when you're ready. So there is some engagement involved here by engaging in the pelvis and core and thighs to lift that region up. And do what feels right in the neck. Feel the space of your heart lift up. Notice the breath. And take one more deep breath in and out. Lower the hips back down. Drop the knees from side to side. Nice little booty massage on the floor. And just slowly bring your entire back down and get the full low back rubbed from side to side. You might curl those knees in and notice the mid back come down. Maybe you reach the arms up overhead, maybe a happy baby. Any movement that feels right. Just shift and transition to your back. Good. Hug the right knee into your chest. And we'll either bring the left foot to the floor or lengthen the leg long. Just breathe into the flexion of the right hip. And let's bring the right hand to the top of the knee. And then the left palm to the top of the left hip. feel a sense of balance between sides of your pelvis. Using the right hand, guide and make some circles in your right hip, or knee rather, guiding the knee to make circles in the femur to your hip. Just notice the movement and the pace of the movement. If you notice any spots, maybe you hang out there and take a deep breath. Good, and then bring the circles in the other direction. Good. Make one more circle, however long that takes you. After your last circle, cross the knee over the body, come to a spinal twist, stacking your hips so you're on the outer left hip. You might bring something underneath your knee, like a pillow or folded blanket. And let's bring the right hand to the heart now. And just stay here for a bit. Maybe the left hand is guiding that knee, or maybe the left arm is reaching long. Whatever feels right for you on the left side, but right hand to the heart. And rub that heart a little bit and just feel your shirt, feel your skin underneath the shirt. And then find some stillness here. And breathe into the low body, softening in those hips, feeling the twist in the low back, lengthening through the spine. And feel that line from toe, knee, hip, shoulder, head. And your hand on your beautiful heart. Feel the heat from hand to heart, heart to hand. And then slowly remove the hand. Wait a minute, let's drag our fingertips. Yes, drag your fingertips along the side of your chest to the right shoulder and see if you can anchor that right shoulder towards the floor. And then as you're ready, unfurl the rest of the arm. Allow the palm to face up. And just notice what you feel from the heart to the hand. And breathe in this twist for 10 more breaths. Notice the next breath. And then slowly bring that right hand back in. Guide it along to that right knee, and then we'll just shift and roll over with the right knee out And now the tops of the hip and the belly on the floor. So like a figure 4 down. Half frog, I believe it's called. I honestly forget a lot of position names these days. But sink into this hip here for a bit. Accommodating for your neck, however feels right. And we'll yin it up for a bit. So just soften, soften. Be in your being. Notice all parts of the body touching the floor. With your inhale, bring the awareness to the center of your mid-back. And then with your exhale, bring it to the front of your chest, down towards the floor. We're going to slowly bring the right knee long, both legs long on the floor. Just kind of shimmy that pelvis down. Good, and then come to a Sphinx pose when you're ready. Forearms down, little back bend. Engage in the low back, in the thighs to protect the low back. So we engage the hamstrings by pressing the tops of the feet down. That reverberance brings that awareness there. We lengthen through the knees. Notice the heart, the collarbone, the throat, the jaw. Lift the head up, bring the gaze up to the sky. Open and close the mouth. Notice the space you just created in those areas. Breathe it in. Exhale out the mouth. Good, and then bring it back down to the floor and roll on over to your back. And any movements of adjustment here in the center, happy baby, what have you. Maybe something that doesn't have a name and you just make it up. Whenever you're ready, left knee into the chest now, right leg long or bent. Listen to your pelvis, what's it telling you? Good. And now right hand to the top of the right hip or thigh. Left hand guiding that left knee. Feel stable. And then make those movements. Circles in that thigh. And just notice what you feel. You might hang out in a region. Let's start the circles the other way now. Good. One last circle for yourself. Whenever you're ready, come to your spinal twist. Left hand to the heart. Good. Settle into the other spaces in your body for a bit. You might rub the heart as you do this. Full presence in the twist. The awareness of all the parts of your body lining up. And then zone in that awareness to your hand and heart, heart and hand. Stay here for a bit, be with it. Feel the energy in your heart center. Notice the lift in the chest with your inhale. And with your exhale, drag it across the chest, anchoring the shoulder down towards the floor. And then slowly unfurling the arm and pouring the love out. Allowing that energy to flow freely. Take a few more breaths. Notice the next one. Good, and then cross it back over, come to your half frog on the other side. So rolling and opening up a little more and sinking into that hip. And making any little adjustments that need be. Feel your own alignment in your body. Hmm. Good. Melt into the parts of the body touching the floor. Allow the inhale to center awareness to the back of the heart, so the mid back. You may even feel it lift up with the inhale. And with the exhale, like you're piercing through it, send an anchor down through the heart to the floor. And stay. Feel that heart like an anchor sinking down to the floor. And then straighten that left leg behind you. Just be here in this prone position. If you need to adjust in the hips, feel free. But really remaining grounded in that heart. And feel how this connection, this anchor, this heavy weight bearing down does not really allow for the chest to lift up and open to others. It doesn't allow that heart to open. Maybe we've experienced this type of love before. The one that sucks you in and down and doesn't let you shine your light upwards and outwards. The love behind the Ten of Cups allows for this, encourages for this, because when we're able to experience that freedom, then we're able to show up lovingly for all those around us. Let's come to a Sphinx pose. Allow those hands and forearms to press you down and up and away. And feel that lift and rise in the back bend. Good. Feel Sphinx for another couple breaths. Good. Lifting upwards and outwards. Great. And let's transition this to a child's pose. Transition this sense of love and openness to sink into those hips. Bringing it down to child's. Bringing it to our hips. Bringing it to where we learned how to love. Good. We will take these next few breaths in our child's pose to center any dedication or mantra. Let's see if we can condense anything that came up for us in class. Maybe you will think of a color. If you're not much of a verbal person, maybe you're more visual. Maybe you think of a texture with that color, with different shades and hues. And just pull together, piece together something concise that brings these 5 pentacles and 10 cups to your life. So apply it to yourself. And as you begin to move, lift yourself out of child's pose. We can continue to contemplate this as we come to our final resting position. So transitions in the movement. If there's any other movements you want to make, feel free. You might lie on your back, on your side, on a prop. Bringing it in, scanning the body. Let's notice the bottoms of the feet. And then notice the space in between the toes and the very tips of your toes. Noticing the toenails and the tops of the feet. Noticing the outer, inner ankles, outer, inner, lower leg, outer, inner knee, and then the outer and the inner thigh. Noticing your hips and groin. And then the entire pelvis. Feeling the low back and abdomen. The lats and side body and rib cage. The mid back. The upper back and chest and heart region. Shoulder blades, the collarbone. The armpits, the tops of the shoulders. The upper arm. Outer, inner elbow. Forearm. Around the wrist. The back of the hand. fingernails, the fingertips, the finger pads, and the palm. Noticing the hands for a moment. Any energy that's lingering in them. Anything you're holding on to. Relinquish your grasp. It's the art of letting go. Lastly, bring the awareness to the very center of the forehead, the third eye. Just breathe and stay here. Notice Ajna, the third eye. Breathe her in. Breathe her out. And you might bring awareness anywhere else in the body, wherever you want. Little movements, coming back. Maybe a stretch. And we'll roll onto our sides when we're ready. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. When you're ready, let's come to a seat. We'll close out with one another. I feel deep gratitude for you all. And if you want, you can join me in this Om. Let's inhale. Om. Namaste. Hope you all have a beautiful night.